G'day and welcome to another Pokemon GO video. So jumping into Go Battle League today, and this is a demonstration of what not to do. So I've been pushing for to try and get to rank 9 before the end of the season, and I've opened up the season to all leagues. So I switched into Great Battle League to give that a go. So I was previously playing in the Master League, doing okay, sort of doing well, and then dropped down a bit and have been a bit stagnant for a little while, so I decided to switch it up and jump into the Great Battle League. So let's see how this goes. So on the lead I've got Toxicroak versus Charizard. Charizard, a really bad Pokemon for my team. In hindsight, what I should have done there is sacked the my lead there and not switched in the Sableye, just because obviously Sableye is going to be my only sort of half decent counter for it, and then out comes Toxicroak, and yeah, I just didn't play this well. So as you can see, trying to farm this down to get as much energy as I can. Should have pulled the trigger. And then out comes good old Charizard, and here probably should have again mud bombed, so I'm going to go back to back. Wasn't quick enough, so out comes the Dragon Claw, really cost effective on energy, so I'm going to mud bomb this time because I'm expecting another shield, and I did get the shield, but then wasn't able to throw another one. So now going to be a blast burn because I've got a whole lot of energy, and then that's going to be fairly simple farm down for them. So just absolutely schooled in game number 1. So I mean, it is what to expect when your first match. Well, for me, I always play a little bit worse until I start getting used to it again. So this one is a reasonable lead for me. I'm expecting them to swap out, which they do. So they swap into the Azumarill, which is okay for me. Expect this to be a bait, and it was not. So they've got the Hydro Cannon there, so it does huge amounts of damage, and that just puts me in all sorts of hurt. So they've not shielded that up, which is good for me, and then able to get to, well, not quite able to get to another one. So then they've got the Play Rough. Shielded that up, and then at least now I can win switch, but they do have a shield advantage. So out comes the Shiftry here. So Shiftry I really like as a Pokemon. It's just really spammy, so I've came out, shielded this up because I thought it would be a Leaf Blade. It was was the Leaf Blade, and then out comes the Skarmory. So Skarmory here, going to shield up, and then I'm going to come out with the Sableye, just because obviously Sky Attack is going to be super effective against the poison typing. So let's see how we go. So they're able to get to another one, and then it's not looking ideal. So I'm going to throw the Mud Bomb straight up just to stop any extra chip damage, and it is not very effective. So this is really not good. So I've over farmed there, knowing that I need to be able to throw energy on the Skarmory, but it was able to get to its next charge move, so taking me out there. So there's game number 2, not so good. So reasonable lead, but wasn't able to follow that up. So this is an awful lead for me. It's just going to absolutely shred me here. So what I've decided to do is let it go, try and get shields, but that Shadow Gardevoir just tears me apart. So looking to try and get to a Flash Cannon. They did get to, obviously, through the Shadow Ball, so correctly shielded that up. That would have done a whole lot of damage. Wanted to over farm a little bit there, so let's see if we get a second shield or they let this go down. So they've shielded this up, and I hopefully will be able to get to the next Flash Cannon before they can get to their Shadow Ball, which I was able to do. So Flash Cannon was able to take that out. Out comes Meganium. So this is not good. Even a Frenzy Plant at this range is going to take me out, which it does. Out comes the Sableye. I've got the shield advantage, but they're looking good because they've got energy on the and then what do they bring out? Good old Bastiodon, and that's GG's. There's nothing I can do there. It's just going to be an absolute wall. So to take this on, I would have needed my Focus Blast from the Reggie would have been absolutely perfect in this situation. Obviously, that Shadow Gardevoir at the start just wreaked havoc to my team. So either I had two good counters for that, both destroyed early in the game. So let's jump into the next one. So a rank 9 player, obviously I've dropped down a bit. So this is a really good lead for me. So it's going to be super effective here. And I'm not sure why they're not switching out, but let's throw the Mud Bomb and see what we get. So I do get a shield, which is really nice. I'm going to shield this up because I do want to win switch. I do expect that to be a surf, but it is actually the Ice Beam, which is going to take me out, which allows me to farm down without having to worry about throwing another shield. And so I'm going to now let the good old Toxicroak go. It's done its job, and now I can bring in my Reggie. I expect them to switch this out. That's why I've got my switch up. So no need to shield this. Probably going to be the Flash Cannon. It is the Flash Cannon. Does a tiny bit more damage, but it's really insignificant. Getting a whole lot of lag there, so really not sure what's going on. And then we've got a frozen timer, so I'm not sure whether I'm freezing or they are. Lock-ons do such little damage, but their health is going down slightly, so I decide to throw the trigger, and I'm getting a lot of lag as well. So I don't at this point know what's going on, whether I'll win this match or not. Just a huge amount of lag, and then out comes the Umbreon, and this is relatively straightforward. Have the shield, but and also have a Focus Blast there. So I don't know whether that was the win there is down to the fact that there's a huge amount of lag, or at that point they'd given up the game, because obviously out came the Skarmory against a Registeel, and having a Registeel is a good counter for both of the Skarmory and the Umbreon, which they had in the back. So possibly for that one they just stopped playing because they knew it was game over. To be completely honest, at that point I wouldn't have. So I don't know whether it was lag or not. There did seem to be a lot of lag in the middle there. So for this one, not an ideal matchup. I'm going to stay in, charge up to the Sludge, and then throw. So the reason I'm throwing up a shield here is trying to bait out a shield of theirs. So I am then going to throw a Mud Bomb. Hopefully I'll get a shield, which I do. So that's really good. And then go straight for the Sludge Bomb. So then we will hope they don't double shield, which they haven't. So this will mean the question is, do I shield or do I let this go? I'm going to let this go. It's barely enough not to take me out, and we simultaneously faint. So let's see what comes out next. Hopefully, so they've thrown out the Alolan Marowak. So that's really good for me, because I do not want that matched up against my Registeel. They're going to throw a charge move. I expect it to be the Bone Club, which it is. It doesn't do much damage. And they've actually swapped that out, so I need to be careful here. So for this one, I really should have thrown... and then I wouldn't have needed to shield. So I should have just thrown the Foul Play. They have shielded that up. And let's see if we can get to another one. I did learn my lesson. We CMP tied, and then they have... priority, and then set up Mud Bomb. So this is going to be interesting. Obviously both of theirs are going to do huge amounts of damage to my Reggie, hopefully. I can charge this down. So I didn't want to switch out here. That would have been devastating, but they didn't switch it out, and I should be able to farm this down because it has no energy. It threw the bone club before it decided to switch. Had it not thrown the bone club, it might have been a slightly different game there. So it was able to win 2 out of 5. To be honest, that was really 1 out of 5. I don't know whether that first game that I won was all due to lag. I think I had a good chance of winning it, but don't know. So into my next set of 5. Horrible lead. So for this one, I'm just going to let this go. I would have really liked to get to... and then out comes the Azumarill. So this is really not good for me. I shouldn't probably have switched. I should have just left this in. At this point, there's really nothing I can do here. And it's highly unlikely that I can't actually remember, but it's highly unlikely I'll even get to see what their third Pokemon is. Let's see what happens here. So play rough, super effective, takes me out. Really not ideal. Should be able to, let's see if I get a shield here. No shield. So, and then charge that, fast move farm that down. So out comes the, Toxicroak, and this is game over. They're just going to farm me down. They're not even going to have to throw their energy, and they've decided to no shield that just to flex a little bit there and just be one of those people that no one likes. Let's jump straight into the next one. And as you can see, this is that first game was brutal, absolutely brutal. So no shielded and had full health Azumarill in the back there, so not ideal. So in this one, at this point, I'm not really sure what I need to be doing here. There's not really much I can do. So I want to fake a fighting charge move, try and get a shield, which I was able to get, and then I'll throw back to back. I don't think I'll be able to get a second shield, which I won't, but at least I could get the Skarmory down into a reasonable sort of playable health. Problem is, lock-on just does no damage, so farming it down. I probably shouldn't have thrown energy there. Probably should have just let that go. Out comes the Mawile, so this is really not looking good for me. I was too slow, built up extra energy, and it's just a power-up punch, so that's really not good for me. Would have been good to let that go and save that shield. The question is, can I get to another one? I can, so that's absolutely perfect. And they let that one go through, and then they charge me down. So they let that through because they don't have any other choice. So I'm hoping this is another power-up punch because it won't do too much damage, but then they're having a double boost, and then out comes the Azumarill, and this is GG's. The good old Sableye is not going to do very well, not with the moves that it has. To be honest, the move you probably want to make it playable against an Azumarill, and when shields are down, it's even less playable. You probably want it to be purified, and have that as one of its second moves. So this one, out comes the Azumarill. And so I'm going to try the same play that I did last time. So we'll shield up this first one, charge up a little bit extra, throw the Mud Bomb, and then hopefully bait out a shield, and then throw a second, and I got no shield, so that's real bad. And then this one I because they didn't shield, and then the second time they have shielded, so that's really brutal. I'm now down a shield and down on energy. So for this one, I wanted to swap into the Azumarill to soak up some of this energy. I'm expecting something bad to come out, and I was right. Something bad did come out. So out comes the Galarian Stunfisk. Happy days for me. They did not shield, and they let the Focus Blast go through. Out comes the Earthquake and absolutely wrecks me. So I'm going to try and charge this down, which I was able to do, and then I want to throw the throw my Toxicroak's energy, which I was again able to do. So unfortunate that they do have a Venusaur in the back, which is going to get to its Frenzy Plants really quickly, and yeah, able to get to... didn't bother throwing the charge move there because they obviously had a shield, so I wasn't going to be able to get to 2 charge moves. Had I got to 2 charge moves, then I would have thrown them back to back. So at this point, I decided to switch out because I'm getting awful leads for the Toxicroak. Everything is just brutal on the Toxicroak, and this would have been another one that would have absolutely monstered my Toxicroak. It's not really doing that well for my Sableye, if I'm completely honest. At least with the Sableye, it does keep up, but the problem is I'm now down a shield. So what I should have been doing is charging up to the Power Gem, and I should have thrown that rather than the double double foul plays. I was able to get to another foul play, so that really sort of saved me there. And I was able to take the switch. So out comes Galarian Stunfisk, and this works out really well for me because obviously the fighting type is actually super effective. So they are looking to let this go. So I've got no shields, expecting this to be an Earthquake, which it is, and it is super effective, and it takes me out. So out comes the Registeel, and it's able to get to another Earthquake before I can get to a charge move. I have to... At this point, I just want to see what their last Pokemon is. They will be able to throw energy before I get there. Out comes a Azumarill. This is GG's right here. I've got a shield. There's really nothing I can do. So that's another game, another loss. So at this point, I'm deciding to switch into my Reggie on the lead. So I've hit 2 Altarias, and then out comes a Haunter. So it would have been really nice to have the Sableye on the lead there, because it would have been doing super effective damage. I also would have been taking super effective damage, so I've decided not to shield this, and it turns out that's a big mistake. Shadow Ball almost one-shots it, and then it's able to farm me down. So out comes the Sableye here. I'm expecting another Shadow Ball to drop here. So I've shielded this one up, and it's just the Shadow Punch. And this is going to be the Shadow Ball, no reason not to be. So I have to, and it's just the Shadow Punch again, so I am able to farm it down. So really not looking good for me here. Gone down shields, gone down a Pokemon, so I'm down a shield and down a Pokemon. Yeah, not good. So in comes the Ice Beam. I throw the foul play because I'm not going to get to another Power Gem, and it shields that up and then farms me down. Out comes my Toxicroak, and yeah, Toxicroak is going to get absolutely monstered because it's double weakness to Psychic. At that point, I've gone 5-0. And the lesson to learn here is stick with what you know. Back to Dialga Buddy Boost and the good old Master League. Out of 10 games, I went 2-8, and really it was one of those games is a bit questionable. First game off the rank is Giratina leading into a Kyogre, which is really nice for me. Went for straight Shadow Ball. I've not shielded that up, and then I'm going to go for the Ominous Wind. I will shield this because I think it's going to be a Blizzard. It's not, it's just the Surf. Expecting another Surf to come through because they're not going to get to another one. They've not shielded that up, and I don't get a boost, which is fine. I've learnt this season not to expect a boost. So for this one, I'm going to throw the Ominous Wind because I'm expecting a shield here, which is absolutely fine. Got the shield, and then it's going to charge me down. So out comes the Mewtwo for this. expecting this to be an ancient power, and it is, which is absolutely fine. So they didn't get a boost, so happy days. So a little bit of over farm there, and then throw that energy. So they've shielded up, and then they're swapping out. So for this one, I'm going to go straight for the Focus Blast, which I was able to get to. And that takes it out in a single shot. So I do have a shield in the bag, which they decided to throw. So I guess they're looking for ancient power and going for the boost. And then hopefully I can get to, well, I will be able to get to an Iron Head before they can charge me down. Had they got the boost, it would have been a much closer game. I still should have been able to take that, but that's it. So big lesson to learn there. Stick with what you know, because otherwise, look at that drop. Ouch. And now to start boosting my way back up. But thanks very much for watching. Hopefully that was useful. Good examples of what not to do. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.